Chapter 2 Home Life. Eliza Danvers finished up at her job early that day and was just arriving at their home when their two daughters on the bus pulled up at the corner. Alex bit her lip and complained, "Great." Alex jumped out of her seat and passed Kara like she wasn't there. Kara's heart sank. Alex was the only person she felt like she could talk to, and they weren't able to talk freely on the bus, so Kara really needed to spend some time with her sister at home. But that would never happen with their mom around. Alex quickly walked by her mom, muttering, "Hi," but disappearing immediately into her bedroom, nearly slamming the door behind her. Kara knew Alex would stay there all night, working hard on her homework and her projects, and avoiding Kara and her mom. This had been going on since Alex's dad disappeared a year ago. Kara thought Alex blamed her mom for driving her dad away, which seemed crazy to Kara. Eliza dismissed Alex's hostility as a simple teenage angst brought on by hormones and heartbreak. She said Alex would grow out of it like she had done herself when she had gone through something similar in her youth. Kara wondered if that was true, and if it was, how could adults forget the pain of such a loss? How could she expect her daughter to forget? Alex had been closer to her dad than Kara had ever been to her own dad on Krypton. Kara had been jealous until Jeremiah Danvers disappeared with no explanation. Alex had been devastated. Better than anyone, Kara knew how Alex was feeling. Alex had helped Kara deal with her own losses the year before, and Kara wanted to do the same for Alex. Kara knocked on Alex's door. "Go away," was the reply, "and don't you dare spy on me." Eliza called Kara back into the kitchen. "Don't worry about her, Kara," she said, while pulling a pan from under the stove. "She needs to go through this her own way. Would you like to help me make dinner?" Kara shuffled her feet indecisively. It seemed that every time Kara smiled at their mom or acted like a good daughter, Alex wouldn't talk to Kara for hours. I think I'd better go into my room, too." "Oh, okay," Eliza sighed in disappointment. "But please leave the door open a little. I hate feeling so shut out." Kara smiled and nodded. She closed the door almost all the way, but it creaked open a few inches. Kara sat down and turned on her old, slow computer. It had been Alex's computer back when the girls shared Kara's bedroom. A few months ago, Alex had moved into her dad's study with his much fancier computer. Kara thought it was a bad idea, because every minute in that room reminded Alex of her dad. Kara tapped her fingers on the keyboard, wading through the ubiquitous Windows XP logo. Then she stared wistfully as her computer wallpaper monopolized the screen for a long moment. It was a blurry photo from the Hubble telescope with a beloved red dot nearly invisible in front of a nebula. Finally, the computer finished booting up. She double-clicked the chat room icon Alex had set up when the computer had been her own. The aging computer struggled to serve Kara. She bit her nails nervously, and every muscle in her body seemed prepared to flee from what she was about to see. Leesburg High had set up chat rooms for their own network, but everyone knew those rooms were only used for homework or team assignments. When kids wanted to be themselves, they went into unsanctioned sites. Kara visited these underground sites every day since her first day of school. She never joined the chat herself. She didn't know how to change her username from Alex D, but she learned all she knew about being a high school student from that room, where teenage life revealed itself unfiltered. During the first week of the school year, dozens of students, mostly freshmen, chatted over each other in a barrage of messages, overwhelming Kara, but she quickly figured out how to filter out text voices so she could follow individual conversations. Kara was quickly hooked. There was so much drama on the site. Friends publicly morphing into enemies, gossip about teachers, gossip about students, public shaming. Until today, Kara was able to watch the drama with a detached curiosity. But it was all different now. She was on the hot seat. As expected, all anyone chatted about today were the lists. Some people wondered if Student Body had run a poll, or took it upon herself to grade all the girls. A few conversations debated the eye candy lists, and those debates were mostly civil. But by far the most popular and disturbing chats concerned the eyesore lists, and those were the only conversations Kara was interested in today. The first 20 minutes of the debate was over the sophomore girls, as two girls were widely considered the ugliest girls out of the whole school, but the chats debated who most deserved that honor, with the cruelest insults Kara could imagine. She was actually feeling quite sorry for the two girls when she was quickly reminded why she was so nervous to begin with. The conversation in the chat room went as follows. Watcher wrote, "So who's the freshman freak?" Cookie wrote, "The other Danvers, the weird one with the shitty ponytails. Homeschooled." Peggy Sue wrote, "She's a foster kid. They're always trouble." Cookie wrote, "Have you seen her at lunch? Oink, oink. I saw her sneak into the bathroom today. Barf, barf." Lena XOXO wrote, "No, I saw her. She was just sad." Cookie wrote, "Shut up, Lena." Skins Fan wrote, "That bitch is no lost cause. She ain't hard to look at, but damn, she smells funny. Nice legs, though. I think student body is off here." Watcher wrote, "You're just a legs guy." Skins Fan wrote, "I'm the legs guy. And she wears short skirts, so nice. Wonder where the skin ends." Peggy Sue wrote, "Gross." Skins Fan wrote, "Really? A guy can dream. Wink." Cookie wrote, "Low-class girls want guys looking down, so low-class guys can dream." Domino wrote, "Geez, get off your high horse." Cookie wrote, "Tommy, don't you know even your friends just tolerate you? Oh, I forgot. No friends. You probably think the bottom of the list is a good place to start looking." Domino wrote, "At least she's not a stuck-up bitch." Cookie wrote, "Whatever. Come to think of it, even she's too good for you." Watcher wrote, "Oh my god, did you see what Student Body blogged like right now?" Cookie wrote, "What?" Skins Fan wrote, "Huh?" Watcher wrote, "She's saying the My Blog site told her she had to take down the list because of company policies or some shit." Skins Fan wrote, "Figures. Fascists." Peggy Sue wrote, "Come on, people. It's just a beauty contest." Kinda. Cookie wrote, "It's only because it ranked the losers. Like, everyone is so sensitive and might just step in front of a bus." Lena XOXO wrote, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." Cookie wrote, "Shut up, Lena. Be right back. Dinner time." Peggy Sue wrote, "See ya." Kara closed the chat room. Okay, that wasn't so bad, she whispered to herself. Though she felt dirty, like people had been analyzing her naked body. Kara stared through the wall to the kitchen, hoping her dinner was ready too, so she wouldn't have to think about more of what she had just read, but their mom was putting a casserole into the oven, so she could not escape her thoughts for at least another hour. Kara looked at the mirror. Her eyes were welling up, but she snarled and shook her head. She wouldn't cry. She was going to fix whatever was wrong. She tried to see what they saw as so ugly, but they didn't say what they didn't like. Was her face fine? They didn't talk much about her face at all, only her hair. She knew her boobs were too small, but the critics didn't complain about those, either. One boy even commented on her legs, but she already knew that was her best feature, in part because Kryptonians had virtually no body hair. Her biggest crime wasn't her physical appearance. It was the way she acted, her hair, the way she ate, the way she smelled, and she could redeem herself in all those areas. She had already decided to lose weight and eat nothing at lunch. She knew if she ate even a slice of bread, she wouldn't be able to stop, so she just had to avoid food altogether, so she wouldn't look to them like a pig at a trough. She could learn to act like the other girls. She knew her voice sounded foreign to Americans, but if she really tried, she could get rid of the Kryptonian accent. She was a fast learner. But she was conflicted about what to do about the way she smelled. In reality, Kryptonians have strong pheromones that Earth people find very attractive, but the scent would give her away to xenophobic threats, and their mom was sure there were many such threats, so she had concocted an odd-smelling perfume to mask Kara's peculiar scent. Kara hadn't given the perfume a second thought before, but she knew it was keeping her from having friends, so something needed to be done. She was always compliant and giving up too much to live a normal life. Did she really have to give up having friends, too? The easiest fix for Kara was changing her hairstyle. She had always thought her hair was too buoyant anyways. One student had told her that her hair was a dirty blonde, so she thought that meant her hair was ugly. But the students in the chat room only complained about the style, so Kara removed the ties and let her hair fall down. Kara stared in front of the mirror for a long time. Was she still ugly? Did she look better now? Why couldn't she tell? Her mom called her for dinner, and it was a relief when Kara finally stopped looking at herself, fussing over every detail. But dinner didn't go any better. When the three Danvers sat down to eat, nobody commented about her hair, the list, or her school. In fact, nobody said anything for several minutes. It was a typical dinner time these days. Finally, their mom asked Alex if she had changed the cat litter today. Alex muttered something under her breath that Kara couldn't even hear with her amazing ears, but their mom knew exactly what Alex said. Kara tried to close her eyes and cover her ears as Alex yelled and ran up to her room, with their mom running after and banging on the closed door between them. Dinner laid half-eaten on the table. Their mom came back to clean up the scraps while Kara sought refuge in her room, and everyone felt very, very alone. 5 hours later, after their mom laid down to sleep, Alex lightly knocked on Kara's door. When Kara opened up, Alex couldn't meet her eyes. Her older sister simply said, "Sorry about all that." Kara didn't want to make a big deal about it. Want to watch TV? The two girls sat side by side on Kara's bed, flipping through channels, finally settling on Law & Order SVU, something their mom would never approve of them watching. Alex seemed totally into the TV show, but Kara was more into Alex being with her, watching TV together. During a commercial, Kara mentioned what people were saying about her in the chat room. She tried to keep her voice flat, as though it didn't matter at all. Alex looked at her sister sadly, shaking her head. "You shouldn't be listening to those assholes." "It's okay," Kara said, wishing she had said nothing. Now that she said it out loud, she felt like she was being thin-skinned and whiny. Alex reached over to hug Kara, saying, "No, it's not okay." Kara dissolved into Alex's embrace. It felt okay now to feel the feeling she kept trapped. She was about to cry. She wanted to cry, right there, in her sister's arms. Then she felt the trap shutting again, as Alex began to pull away. Kara apologized for no reason at all, except that Alex wasn't pulling away at all. She was positioning for a kiss. She tasted Kara's tears and swallowed her apology. This kiss was a long time coming. They had shared light, playful kisses before the tragedy a year ago. Ever since then, Kara had felt like they were growing apart. She had felt like she was losing another family, one day at a time. She had felt like she was losing her best friend. Alex's kiss was like a baptism, washing away all sorts of sins. Kara felt lightheaded and euphoric. All of her heartaches seemed worth the pain at that one moment, as Alex pushed her down on the bed and stared deeply into her eyes. Kara could see 100 unsaid feelings behind those eyes before they closed again and the two girls leaned into another kiss. Then they heard the door open outside the room and they froze. "Mom's going into the bathroom," Kara whispered into Alex's ear. They waited quietly, cheek to cheek, and Alex's body was pressing down on Kara's. Kara didn't want the moment to end. A minute later, they heard the bedroom door close again. "She's back in bed," Kara finally said. Alex very quickly climbed off her sister. She held her breath as the bed squeaked, and breathed again when she was safely on her feet. "This was a mistake," Alex whispered firmly. Kara nodded, deferring to her sister's judgment. As Alex silently tiptoed back to her room, Kara rolled onto her pillows, which replaced her sister in Kara's embrace. The beautiful feelings she had felt a moment before were dying inside of her. Was there nothing solid for her to hold on to? She felt like her whole life was a mistake. Kara awoke the next morning at sunrise. She smiled as she looked out the window. The sun was just peeking over the horizon. It was a brilliant red, with shades of orange covering half the sky. Today would be a better day, she decided. She combed her hair long and straight, but her hair refused to stay in place, so she let it be wild. She put a drop of the foul perfume on her cardigan, to satisfy her mom, but she would hide her sweater in her locker room as soon as she was at school. She put on a medium-length dotted skirt, short enough to show off her legs, but long enough so that no one would call her slutty. She stuffed her bra with cotton balls. Then, she spent half an hour trying to match her makeup to a model in a magazine. "My, you're looking pretty today," her mom said when Kara walked into the kitchen. Kara didn't believe her, but she blushed anyway. Breakfast was already placed on the table. French toast. Kara quickly ate every slice on her plate, then started on the second helpings on the plate in the middle of the table. She knew that this would be her only meal until tonight.
"I'm glad to see you eating more,"
her mom said. She was always trying to get Kara to gain weight. Kara dropped her fork immediately, stood up, and kissed her mom's cheek, saying, "Bye." Her mom replied,
"Oh, okay.
puzzled by Kara's attitude.
Have a good day."
Alex was already waiting for the bus, eating a banana for breakfast when Kara ran up beside her. Alex choked on the banana when she saw that her younger sister suddenly had boobs. After a moment, she laughed and simply said, "All right." Once on the bus again, they sat in their usual seats. Kara slipped her hand over Alex's lap, then dragged Alex's hand into the space between them. Kara's fingers straddled the back of Alex's hand while her thumb gently stroked Alex's inner palm.
And Alex didn't mind.